Shot 666. What does it tell to us? Barry's beloved son falls from a horse and dies after. The theme is both important theme-wise and cinematography-wise. It's the only scene with a modern synthetic sound, an awkward scream. We know Kubrick utilizes number 666 and counts his shots, but before we get into that, you should know we will dive into psychoanalysis and symbolism. You may think these topics are crap and unimportant, but we know Stanley Kubrick uses these topics in his pictures. The most obvious example is a fan letter describing Dr. Strangelove as an all-sexual theme, like these bombs, explosions, they are all orgasms and phallus symbols and etc. And Stanley Kubrick responds to this letter saying, "Yeah man, you are right, we should hang out sometime." And Stanley Kubrick expresses his disappointment none of the critics understood the underlying theme. Returning back to film, the number 666 is referred as the number of the beast in the Bible. The thing is, back then, when the Bible was written in language of Greek and Hebrew, there was no symbol for the numbers. Numbers were expressed as letters, so there is something mysterious going about the number. And in the film, Barry hits his stepson, Bellington, 6 times in 3 different scenes. It's almost like an evilistic ritual. So what is the relationship between these events? Before we begin to our investigation, I want you to acknowledge 2 basic psychoanalytic symbols. Horses, they are about masculinity, and anything long and cylindrical can be perceived as phallus, male sexual organ. At the beginning of the film, the narrator tells us that Barry's father died because of a horse sale issue, just like how his child died because of a horse. We see a repetition of these duels throughout the film. Barry duels a captain because captain is with his lover, but after he is tricked to believe that captain is dead, he escapes. He doesn't care about his lover. So it's not really about his lover, it's about his manhood pride. And after Barry joins the military, he makes fun of a soldier, implying he is incompetent as a man. There we see the 3rd duel, the box match. In the final duel, we know Barry's stepson envies him from his mother, so there is also a sexual tension going there. Also, frequent usage of words like cock, satisfaction, which are overloaded in meaning, is interesting. So we understand that duels are about manhood. But Barry, who always tried so hard, why is he giving up in his last duel? Well, you may say it is because death of his child, he has grief, but it is not enough. And why Barry was so connected to his child? For example, he has no love for anybody, no love for his wife. He acted unethical throughout all his campaign. His child's falling from horse represents collapse of Barry Lyndon's masculinity. On his journey, Barry Lyndon had one main goal, becoming a man by climbing the social ladder. Even though he became high class, he still felt empty, so he tried to climb more. He tried to see his child as a projection of his masculinity. Thus, he told brave stories about his past life. As a soldier, he was not brave. The war was terrific. He tried to escape. He tried tricks. He wanted to create image of masculinity in his child, which was empty in himself. You can see child idolizes his father in their activities. Together they do male activities like playing golf, holding fish rods, riding horse. The pattern in these scenes are child is always holding smaller male objects. He is almost like a smaller version of his father. Listening to his father's stories about praising masculinity, child wants to become the created image. Thus he wants to ride a horse, but he falls down. The battles, adventures, they were all risky. Like child attempting to ride a horse. Barry never tried to ride that horse that much. He didn't like it. He wanted the image of masculinity so much because he was always a child. Even when he has a lot of power, he is still listening to his mother. In this scene, hand position of Barry and the umbrella of his mother is in parallel with the dominance of his mother. So how Barry started his adventure? At first, he risked his life because of his love. She was with a higher status man. So he thought, if I get higher status, I can get love. But later we see, he uses love to get status. He tricks his wife. Where is this irony coming from? While Barry had no father, we are actually trying to observe story of a boy trying to become a man. During his adventure, he faces with father figures. Because his first love bumps him with a high status man, a captain, he thinks masculinity is about status. He searches for masculinity externally. When he achieves high status by becoming a landlord, he will try to project image of masculinity on his child. Since Barry is not grown up mentally, he can't love his wife, he can't love other women. He sees his stepson as an opponent. Unlike the book, where Barry punishes his stepson with whip, he punishes with a stick. Stick both refers to his military life and male dominance. We later see Bullington comes with a stick, demanding satisfaction. Roles are reversed. In the film, social status is symbolized by shoes. And in large scenes, we always see the pyramid structure of social hierarchy. Frequent zoom-outs in the film suggest there is bigger entity than individual. By changing his uniforms, metaphorically his boots, Barry gains access to other things. For example, in wartime, he makes an affair with a married woman. Doubling the captain took his girlfriend. He escapes pretending to be a higher status. Illusion of masculinity is reflected by status, duels, and other superficial activities during the film. And when Barry becomes a landowner and his son dies, he understands he has no fulfillment. His stepson challenges him just like he challenged Captain. And Bullington is faking his manhood just like him. He created his true self in his stepson. The weak image of himself was shattered as his son died. Even though Barry gave everything in his life to achieve boots of status, he is shooting as if he's shooting his own boots. As in the cover, he understands boots are not part of him. They are separate. He understands boots are useless, and his son shoots his leg, taking away his status. Now Barry can live with his mother, as he always was a child.